Well, hello, my name is Jim Royal. I'm a huge Beatles and Elvis Presley fan and basically classic rock in general. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and like the video, smash that bell, and feel free to leave comments. I always enjoy reading them and I do my best to try to respond in a timely manner. Today what I wanted to do in celebration of Paul McCartney's 83rd birthday that he just had on June 18th, 2025, I wanted to do a least favorite to a most favorite of his studio albums, and I thought that would be fun. Today's date is June 28th, 2025 on a Saturday, and I got the inspiration from Mean Joe Mayo. It's a channel by Joe Mayo on YouTube. He also has he has a movie channel called Mr. Cinemayo, which is really good. If you like the Beatles like I do, check out his channel. He's also just very entertaining. He's one of my favorite YouTubers, and I got the idea from him. So thank you, Joe. All right, so we're going to do 26 studio albums. We're going to stay away from greatest hits collections, compilations like Pure McCartney. We're going to stay away from live albums, his classical records. We're going to also stay away from the Firemen, Twin Freaks, and any side projects. Okay? So why don't we get going here? The first one is Kisses on the Bottom. This is number 26. This was released in 2012. This is Paul paying tribute to an homage to the Great American Songbook, and he has great arrangements of these songs, does a really fine job with the selection. The only drawback I would say is the way that he sings this. It seems like half the album he is whispering. So that would be the only thing that I don't like as much. But I know that he was getting older. He didn't have the range that he had when he was younger, and when he was whispering it would be easier for him to carry the tune properly. He does have two new songs on here. One song is My Valentine, which is one of my absolute favorite songs from Paul from the 21st century. Very moving. I really liked it a lot. Eric Clapton plays guitar on that. You've got some nice songs on here. It's Only a Paper Moon, Bye Bye Blackbird. I would encourage you to check it out. It's one of those kind of late night, evening records to listen to. All right, number 25 is the Russian album. This came out in Russia in 1988 on a small label. It was given to them, and then 3 years later in 91 it was released in the States and worldwide. But it was originally recorded, I believe, at Abbey Road in July of 1987 over 2 sessions. What the idea was here was this time he was paying tribute to his idols of rock music that inspired him to get into the Beatles. Some of this was before he was even a Beatle. He liked these songs. So what he does is he recorded this album with different session players and friends. It turned out really good. He does a great rocking versions of these songs, high energy. It sounds like, he's jamming, and that's the only drawback that I would say. Some of these songs have a tendency of kind of flowing together, sounding the same, but just the same, it's really good. Summertime is one of my favorites on here. I'm Gonna Be a Wheel Someday is also really good. Don't get around much anymore. Summertime is the Gershwin number. He just nails it, and he does such a great job. He puts so much into it. I love it. One of my favorites. All right, now we're going to go to number 24. This is New. New is one of those, so this is from 2013, one of those newer, I'm going to say starting from 2001's Driving Rain. He worked with a lot of different newer contemporary hip producers of the day. Therefore, you get a contemporary sound of the day, which is fine. So that's what he did on New. New is not an album that I've really listened to that much. A lot of times these newer albums I listen to when they first come out, and I don't listen to them as much. I know, shame on me. But anyway, it's a great album just the same. I love New, the title cut. I love Save Us, Alligator, Queenie Eye is really good, Early Days. Just some nice stuff, Hosanna. I would encourage you to check this out. And the good thing was when it came out, it did very well, and critically and commercially. All right, now we go to number 23, and this is Egypt Station. Egypt Station is one of my favorites. I played it a lot when it came out. It came out in 2018. Even though Paul is older and he has that limited voice, that range, he pulls it off really well. And on a song like I Don't Know, which is a haunting kind of piano type number, it sounds like, you know, coming from an older man, and he just delivers it perfectly. This was fun listening to some of these songs in the grocery store or at the mall. Like I remember Come On To Me was really good. I heard that in both places. That was the hit. For You is good. Who Cares? I really like that a lot. People Want Peace is very nice. I would say though the album suffers from just being a little too long, but I do like it a lot. Domino is a great number. Some really nice songs on here, and I think he does a great job. This became a #1 hit. It was a very popular album when it came out. All right, now we're going to go to 2020's McCartney III from number 22. It's 2020, McCartney's III. So this one is a great album, and this does not have that contemporary production sound that I was talking about from the 21st century. He recorded this during lockdown, or as he referred to it as rockdown. I like pretty much everything on here. It's all really good. Long-Tailed Winter Bird is a really nice tune. Find My Way was the single. Sliding is definitely different. Lavatory Lil's a nice rocker. Enjoyable album. I played it quite a bit when it came out, and I like to go back to it from time to time. Definitely a great McCartney album. All right, now we're going to go to one that you're going to be surprised about. This is number 21. It's Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. It is from 2005. This is another one of those albums that doesn't have that, in my opinion, contemporary production so much. It's Paul McCartney. It's Paul McCartney more rare. Sort of like John Lennon's A Plastic Ono Band. A lot of people compare it to it. And he seems like he's saying a lot in the lyrics, and they can almost be like he's singing about himself. I know his marriage to his second wife, Heather, wasn't really going too well at this time, and I think some of these songs reflect that. Fine Line was the single. Jenny Wren is really good. English Tea is excellent. Riding to Vanity Fair is my absolute favorite. Really like that, and it's one of my favorite songs from him in the last couple decades. Excellent album though, done very well. All right, now we have number 20, and this is Memory Almost Full. Now I think this might not be as good of an album as Chaos, and I think Chaos probably would be higher than most people, but this is one that I just gravitated to. I listened to quite a bit. I love Dance Tonight. It would be fun hearing that in the grocery store, which I did. Ever Present Past is really nice. See Your Sunshine, Only Mama Knows, Mr. Bellamy. Really great songs. My favorite though is House of Wax. It's one of my favorite songs from Paul. Very haunting, done very well. Love it a lot. All right, now we have Runvilevil Run, and this is number 19. This is him doing another attempt at doing, paying tribute to his classic early rock that he loved and grew up with. Did a great job with this. He recorded it, I believe, at Abbey Road. Did it with some really good musician friends, one of them being David Gilmour. The idea was they would record like the Beatles did in the early days. They went into the studio. Abbey Road recorded a song in the morning. The group didn't know what they were gonna, be doing. He showed them the lyrics, played it to them a little bit, and then they tried it out. They would complete it, then they would go to lunch or have tea, and then they would come back in the afternoon and record another song, and that's how they did this album. Very good. His wife Linda gave him the blessing to do this and encouraged him right before she passed away. So this was the first thing he did after she was gone. Really good. He took a year off. Excellent album. He has 3 originals on here. I really love Try Not to Cry. Runvilevil Run is an excellent song. All Shook Up and I Got Stung are good Elvis songs that he does, his own, but he sounds true to Elvis too. Party's really good. Blue Jean Bop. I love Lonesome Town. Excellent number. The Ricky Nelson song. All right, now we're going to go to Driving Rain, and this is number 18. This was an album from 2001, and unlike anything that I had heard from Paul McCartney besides Rushes from the Firemen before this. This is the modern production that I was talking to you about. Lonely Road is an excellent song. It's one of my favorite off this album. Rinse the Raindrops is also really good. I love Your Loving Flame's pretty good, and From a Lover to a Friend. Heather's good, Tiny Bubble, Magic. There's some nice moments on here. I just think that this album's a little long. I think Freedom is very heartfelt for the message he was trying to convey. I just think it was okay. I think if he worked on it, it would have been a better song. But it is nice. It is nice that they tagged it on here at the very end. I know a lot of people love to hate this album, but it's just one that I liked from the beginning, and I still like him. I saw him at the 2002 World Tour the first time, and these were some of the songs that he was playing from it. Alright, now we're going to go to Off the Ground number 17, and this is a really nice album. This was released in 1993. I believe when the band of musicians, which are a lot of his people that he plays live with when he does concerts, this was the idea where they went in and recorded the backing tracks as a band all together, and then they might do some overdubs after that. Paul sounds in really good form. I really like it. Hope of Deliverance is one of my favorite songs off of this. Off the Ground, the title cut is really good. Looking for Changes is great. Peace in the Neighborhood I like. Biker Like an Icon. I think that Come On People sounds kind of like a Get Back or a Hey Jude Jr., and it's okay. It doesn't pull it off as well, but I like it. And Cosmically Conscious is a song he wrote while he was with the Beatles in India when he was studying meditation. And this is just a little bit in the run-out groove, and that's pretty interesting. I've always loved that. All right, now we go to number 16, and this is Wildlife. This is Wings' first offering. They were a very, very new band. Garage band sounding. They recorded this about a 2-week period. Initially, when I first got this, I wasn't really a big fan of it. I've grown to like it through the years. I've always loved the title cut Wildlife, and I really like Dear Friend. I love Love is Strange, the cover tune. And I like the other songs now too, like, you know, Tomorrow, Some People Never Know, I Am Your Singer. I love Mambo. I think it's really good. Bip Bop is okay. But it's a fun album, and it's a nice one-off from them. That's from 71. Now we're going to go to 1984's Give My Regards to Broad Street. This is number 15. This is a nice album. I know a lot of people don't like this, but the whole idea was this was soundtrack to a movie. And these are tapes that supposedly the tapes were stolen in the movie, and Paul's trying to find them. So he re-recorded them, like some of them were his own, even though they were the Beatles or Wings. I thought he did a great job on them. I don't have a problem with the new version of Silly Love Songs. I think it's good. Some of these songs like Wanderlust and Ballroom Dancing, I kind of was like, well, why did he re-record them? And it was only 2 years, and they sound pretty much the same. But he did. He does a great job pulling it off, recording, you know, the Beatles songs and the Wings. My favorite on here is No More Lonely Nights, the ballad. It's one of my favorite Paul songs. I like the play-out version too. I also really like Eleanor's Dream. You had Eleanor Rigby he redid, and then this instrumental Eleanor's Dream, and they're connected, and it's just done really well. I think some of the other new songs I'm not as happy with. They're okay, kind of lazy, Not Such a Bad Boy, and No Values. But overall, I really like this album, and he does a great job, you know, with the songs and the renditions. All right, now we have London Town, and London Town is number 14. This was an album that I really didn't get into at the time when I was growing up in the 80s. That was kind of the concern, you know, with it, but I like it. I've appreciated it. It's one of those albums that when I listen to the songs individually, I appreciate it more, but I really do like the album. I know that I got a copy which I checked out from the library, the public library, when I was a kid, and I made a recording of it on cassette, and it wasn't really the best version of it. It was kind of bassy, you know, so that's what I got to listen to. Just the same, With a Little Luck is one of my favorite songs, period, from Paul. London Town is really good. Cafe on the Left Bank, I'm Carrying. I love Backwards Traveler and Cufflink. I also really like Morse Moose and the Grey Goose. I think this album has a few songs that sound kind of folksy, which I normally wouldn't mind. But the fact is they kind of sound similar, and that's kind of an issue. like Children, Children, and Deliver Your Children. I think he did too many collaborations with Denny Laine on this album. That's my opinion, and I don't think that they were stronger songs, but they were okay. I do like Don't Let It Bring You Down. That's a nice one. All right, now the next one is number 13, My Lucky 13, Press to Play. This was from 1986. He recorded it in 85. He has one of these contemporary producers called Hugh Padgham. I really like this album a lot, and I always have. It's very contemporary sounding from the time, as I call it, modern. I think he got lazy with some of the lyrics. In my opinion, some of the subject matter. That's the only drawback. He does collaborate with Eric Stewart from 10cc, if you're familiar with The Things We Do for Love or I'm Not in Love. Those are songs, you know, that anyway, he's really good. He sounds a little like kind of Paul McCartney in a sense, the way he writes. So they collaborated, which was really good. I love Press. I think it's excellent. I love Stranglehold, Good Times Coming, Feel the Sun. Footprints is a nice song. Only Love Remains is probably the standout song that doesn't sound like with the modern productions, and it sounds like typical ballad piano Paul McCartney. He does it really well. I like the B-sides on here, like Right Away, It's Not True, Tough on a Tightrope. Those are songs that would appear on the CD. Pretty Little Head's really good too. I would encourage you to check this out. All right, now we're going to go to the next one. This is number 12. This is Wings at the Speed of Sound. And this is an album where Paul felt that he wanted the whole band to sing a song, and he did. They were on the next leg of their tour. This time they were getting ready to go to America, and it was a big deal for him, so they had new product out in '76. Let Him In is one of my favorites, period, from Paul. It sounds like it could be a Beatles song. She's My Baby, Beware My Love. I absolutely love silly love songs. Saint Fairy Ann, Warm and Beautiful. I think Time to Hide is Denny Laine's shining moment on here. Just excellent, and one of my favorite Denny Laine songs with Wings. So we got that one, just done really well. So now we have McCartney is number 11, and this is the first one that he recorded while he was a Beatle. Was released in 1970. He's dabbling. It's a lo-fi production he did at home. I love pretty much everything on here. The Lovely Linda, That Would Be Something, Every Night, Hot as Sunglasses, Junk, Man We Was Lonely, Ooh You. I love Teddy Boy, That's Nice hearing that. My favorite though is Maybe I'm Amazed, one of my favorite songs from Paul as a solo is that. It's just done really well, and I was always really excited. I always thought, oh, this sounds like these are songs that the Beatles would have done, you know. All right, now we go to number 10. Now we're in the top 10. This is Flowers in the Dirt, and this is really nice. This was an album that came out in 1989. Kind of a comeback, so to speak. Took his time on this, had different producers working on it. It is one of my favorite albums. I was really excited when it came out. I love My Brave Face. I think it's excellent. I love Figure of Eight, Rough Ride, this one. I love Put It There, the nice Yesterday type song that he you know, gave for his son. I really like that. Just some nice stuff on there. We Got Married is okay. Distractions is a nice song. It has kind of that later, you know, 80s kind of dance sound on some of the songs. Not all of them, but some of the songs on the end. Really good, just the same, and it was definitely one that I really like a lot. All right, now we go to number 9, and this is McCartney II, released in 1980, but recorded at home in 1979. He experimented with some new synthesizers and updated, you know, state-of-the-art equipment, did stuff at home. Guess friends and family liked it. They said, you know, you should release this. He did in 1980. Coming Up is the big one off of here. I love that song. A lot of nice songs on here. Dark Room. Waterfalls, On the Way. Temporary Secretary is a highlight for me on here. I love One of These Days. It's one of the songs that doesn't sound like the rest of the album. It's a nice acoustic number, and I love the B-sides like Check My Machine and Secret Friend. Alright, now we're going to go to number 8. This is Pipes of Peace. This came out in 1983. Yes, I know some of these songs were leftovers from Tug of War, but it doesn't mean that they were all bad. They just didn't fit on Tug of War. This was a wonderful album and one of my favorite. In fact, quick story, this was the first album that I bought on new release day. I would believe it was Halloween 1983. I rode my bike to a faraway record store and picked it up. I didn't even have a driver's license. Bought the cassette. The first side, if you look at it just by itself, I think it's stellar. Pipes of Peace, Say, with Michael Jackson, The Other Me, Keep Undercover, and So Bad. Some of those songs were leftovers from Tug of War, but they're excellent. Not all of them. Sweetest Little Show's good on the second side. Through Our Love is good. I like that one a lot. Average Person is good. But some of the songs on the second side suffer from, hey, they should just be B-sides. So... And they're not. Like Koala Bear, Ode to a Koala Bear was a B-side, and it's not on here. You know, some of those should have been on singles, but I like it just the same. I've always liked it, and I would encourage you to give it another chance. All right, now we're going to go with number 7. This is Flaming Pie. This is from 1987. 1997, and I really like this album. Talk about Beatle Paul, as closest to Beatle Paul as you can get, especially later on. He got inspired from the anthology Beatle project that they had been working on several years, you know, recording the Threedle songs with Jeff Lynne. Jeff Lynne is also producing something on here, some songs. The song we were singing in The World Tonight are excellent. The World Tonight was the single. I just love it. If You Want Is fun. Some Days. Young Boy is the little rocker on here with Steve Miller. Flaming Pie is another little rocker. Heaven on a Sunday is excellent. It's Paul with his son James. Little Willow's good. Beautiful Night is amazing and Great Day. This is a mellow sounding album, but it's just a really great album, and it's probably on the top of most people's lists. All right, now we've got the next one. This would be number 6, Venus and Mars. This is such a nice offering from Wings from 1975. Right off a Band on the Run. How do you improve? How do you do better? They pulled it off really well. Now, I didn't really listen to this too much growing up. I do know that my cousin and my aunt had the LP of this, so I did listen to it and you know, got an idea what it sounded like, but didn't really hear it till later on. Listen to What the Man Said is the big single off of here. I like pretty much everything on here. It's a great album. Letting Go is excellent. Lovin' Song is nice. Venus and Mars, Rock Show. Medicine Jar is a nice song from Jimmy McCullough. That's his standout song with Wings. Call Me Back Again is excellent. Just some nice Magneto and Titanium Man. I really like that. You Gave Me an Answer is the granny music, as the Beatles always kind of teased him on it. Fred Astaire tribute. Really strong sounding album. All right, now we're going to go to number 5, and number 5 is Red Rose Speedway. Red Rose Speedway is an excellent album. It's one of my favorite. This is Wings' second offering. This is, nice pop Paul. And My Love is one of my favorite songs from Paul, period, from the solo and Wings years. Big Barn Bed, Get on the Right Thing, One More Kiss, Little Lamb Dragonfly, Single Pigeon, Win the Night, Loop First Indian on the Moon. I've always liked that. It sounds kind of Pink Floyd to me. I think they do a pretty good job with the medley too, though the songs aren't as strong as Abbey Road's medley. Great. Really fun album. All right, now we're going to go to Back to the Egg, which is number 4. This is one of my favorite Wings albums, and I've always liked it. Sure, it's a sleeper of an album. It had Getting Closer on there, which was a minor hit. Kind of weird, the My Salamander bit. But it's a rock album, during the time of punk in the UK when that was popular. Some old dinosaur groups like Led Zeppelin and Wings and Paul and The Who, they felt they had a lot to prove to themselves and to the world. So they did. They put this out. It's excellent. I really love it. I like it all the way through. And it rocks. You've got songs like Getting Closer, We're Open Tonight, Spin It On. I love Old Siam, Sir. Rockestra's theme won a Grammy for Best Instrumental. To You is really good. I like Rockestra theme, and So Glad to See You Here. Winter Rose is good. Again, he's doing an Abbey Road medley, but this time I think the songs are a little bit better. Encourage you to check this out. Maybe you haven't heard of Back to the Egg. All right, now we're at number 3, and this is Ram. This is probably on most people's number 1, but this is my number 3. I love it. Always loved it. It's something I got early on when I got into the Beatles solo stuff on cassette. Really love it a lot. Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey is one of my favorite songs of all time from the solo Beatles. Could have been on a Beatle album. I believe now they said that George Martin had some help with that, or contributed in helping that. Heart of the Country, Muckleberry Moon Delight, Backseat of My Car, just some really nice songs. Ram On, Dear Boy, Smile Away is even fun too. Just an excellent album, and fine, very nicely polished album. Number 2 is Band on the Run. This is from 1973. So that was 1971. This is 73. Finally, the critics and fans adored him. Finally, after this, he recorded this as a trio, just him, Denny, and Linda in Africa. Excellent album. I can't say enough about it. Jeff Emmerich, Beatle producer, engineered the album. He actually won Best Grammy for engineered album. Band on the Run, Jet are on here. Amazing. Bluebird could have been right off of White Album. Mrs. Vanderbilt, Let Me Roll It. No Words is something that's grown on me in time. I like Helen Wheels. I'm glad it's a part of this. It's really good. The U.S. version it is anyway. 1985 is definitely one of my favorite. All right, now we're going to go to Paul McCartney's #1, for me anyway, Tug of War. This was released in 1982. It was the start of George Martin producing his albums. He would produce the next 3. This one, Pipes of Peace and Give My Regards to Broad Street. Wonderful job. And then Jeff Emmerich would be engineering the album. I love this album. I got into this through MTV and the radio, Ebony and Ivory, and Take It Away. Take It Away is one of my absolute favorite. This is such a gem of an album. I love Dress Me Up as a Robber, Wanderlust, The Pound is Sinking. I love all of it. Ballroom Dancing, What's That You're Doing, I really like a lot. Tug of War is a nice, intro and a nice, wonderful song. It's just amazing. Get It is a nice little song he does with Carl Perkins. So the idea was this, is George Martin was going to produce, he asked George Martin to produce this over dinner. He gave him some tapes. There were 15. George Martin came back over the long weekend and said, okay, I like these 5. These are excellent. These 5 need some work. And then these 5, aren't good. Or don't use them. So he really challenged Paul, and he did a great job. So anyway, I wanted to thank you very much for watching my video, and you take care, okay? Have a great day.